So now we're going to use the steps from our first part to make some more t-tables and then graph those rules or equations. So what we have first is we have this rule y equals x plus 1, and we want to plot that rule on this coordinate plane. This is a linear equation. It's an equation because it has an equal sign, and it's linear because the points on this line will all fall in a line. And so what we're going to do, they give us our x values here, which is really nice. They've already done step 1. They've picked our x values, and they're just asking us to plug these x values in for x. So when x is negative 3 plus 1, what is y? When x is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. When x is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. When we plug in 4 for x, 4 plus 1 is 5. Those are all my y values. Now I do need to use my calculator for negative 3 plus 1, which is negative 2. And then to write our ordered pairs, we're going to write our x and then y values in parentheses with a comma. So when x is negative 3, y was negative 2. When x was 0, y was 1. When x was 1, y was 2. When x was 4, y was 5. And so I have 4 ordered pairs that now I need to graph on my number line, or on my coordinate plane. So negative 3, negative 2, I'm going to go left 3 and down 2. 0, 1 means I'm not going to move side to side at all. I'm just going to go up 1, and that point is located on my y-axis. 1, 2 means I'm going to go right 1 and up 2. Plot that point here in quadrant 1. And 4, 5 means I'm going to go right 4 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plot that point. Again, that point is also in quadrant 1. And then I can connect all 4 points with a line. I'm going to make that line go really, really big so that when I put arrows on the end, the arrows are in the white space outside of the coordinate plane, just to really stretch that line all the way and show that it goes on and on forever. And so when we graph the rule y equals x plus 1, this is our result. All of the points that fall on this line, if we plugged in their x and y values, would make this equation true. They would be what we call solutions. All of the points that fall on that line. So this next one, we have a little bit trickier rule. We have y equals 3x plus 1. We're going to have to do 2 steps here and use order of operations. Because there's a number in front of x, we call that number a coefficient. The x is a variable. We have to multiply 3 times x and then add 1. Order of operations tells us to multiply before we add. So in this case, if x is negative 2, we do 3 times negative 2. Not negative 3, just positive 3. Times negative 2, and then we're going to add 1. Then we'll do 3 times 0 plus 1, 3 times 1 plus 1, and 3 times 3 plus 1. So notice that I just took each of these x values and plugged them in for x. So each of them is going to be multiplied by 3, and then we're going to add 1. So if you want to use your calculator, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. So my y value here is negative 5. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So now when I write my ordered pairs, I'm just going to use my x and y columns to write those ordered pairs for x and y. I always want them in parentheses separated with a comma. And x comes first, then y, because we always go in alphabetical order. So in this case, when x is negative 2, y is negative 5. When x is 0, y is 1. When x is 1, y is 4. And when x is 3, y is 10. So negative 2, negative 5, I'm starting at the origin, moving left 2 and down 5. Plotting that point. This is in quadrant 3. This is quadrant 1, 2, 3. Then 0, 1 means I'm not moving side to side at all. I'm just moving up 1 on my y-axis. Plotting this point here. 1, 4, from my origin I'm moving right 1 and up 4. And 3, 10, I'm going from the origin over 3, right 3, and up 10, and plotting that point up here. The last thing that I need to do is draw a line through all the points that I just graphed. I'm going to make that line nice and big so that when I put arrows on the end, the arrows are in the white space of my graph. And what I've just done is I've just plotted the graph for the rule y equals 3x plus 1 using a t-table. And so at this point, I'm going to challenge you to try this last t-table on your own. Use a calculator for the negative math, and then write your ordered pairs, graph your points, and see what kind of linear equation, what kind of linear line you come up with on your graph, and watch the last video to see if you got it right.